family through education, leadership development, and family enhancement services. And did everybody receive a packet? I have brochures, some information out that's for you to keep. But so Turning the Heart Center has been around for 12 years, and our purpose is to motivate and ignite and transform human potential into action. So we're building healthy family relationships. And our vision is that one day every city in America will have Turning the Heart Center, where hearts are being turned and lives are being changed. Right now we are based out of Chula Vista. We do have 3 other sites, one in Mid-City, one in Escondido, and also Oceanside. And so I'm going to just share a little bit about myself, how I got to Turning the Heart Center. At the age of 12, I joined a gang right in the Chula Vista area. And I was grown up with a lot of gang involvement, family members, just where I was raised. And I just thought that was the person that I was supposed to be. But before I made that decision, something happened to me when I was born. I was born with a Legg-Perthes disease. It's your hip bone. My hip bone was getting deteriorated. And so my right leg stopped growing. And so I was in and out of the hospital a lot in my elementary school years. And just going through that time, I got bullied, I got picked on, got teased at all my elementary school years. And it affected my education because I was a lot in the hospital. I had 13 operations when I was a child. So when I had one of my last operations when I was in 6th grade, and then went to junior high, and I got exposed to more gang activity. And I just felt that that's who I was supposed to be. Just pictures that I had, and I'm going to be showing you in a bit. But my family were really heavily involved in gangs. And so I felt that that's who I was supposed to be. And also because I knew that when you join a gang, you get instant respect. Something changes about a youth growing up being teased and picked on. And so I had a lot of hate and anger on the inside of me. I didn't know how to deal with it. So I thought gangs was the outlet. I thought gangs was the answer. And so as time went by, age 13, I really got involved with a lot of alcohol. Pretty much you could say I became an alcoholic at that age. Age 15, I started doing methamphetamines. That was one drug that I really got strongly addicted to. And then at age 17, I was arrested for 2 attempted murders. I was involved in a shooting, and I had shot 2 rival gang members. And this was a lifestyle that I was living, just as you've seen in the movies and so forth. But I didn't think I had an issue. I didn't think what I was going. I thought the way I was living was normal. And so I ended up getting locked up, and they charged me as an adult, and I caught my first strike. Age 17. I went to California Youth Authority in Norwalk. It's a state prison for juveniles. That's where I did my time. And so when I came out, I thought I'd outsmart the system. My mentality didn't change. All that I wanted was I thought I could be a little bit more slicker, and that was the person I was supposed to be. Not too long after I got out, I was right back in. Really got involved with drugs, so much so that I had to start selling drugs just to support my habit. So during all this time, I'm going in and out of jail. And in 2004 was my last arrest. I was in a high-speed chase, and ended up looking at 18 years in prison for my second strike. I was age 29 at that time. Here I am, just lost, not knowing where I was headed in life. I know I didn't want to do the rest of my time, all my life in prison. But I felt I was trapped, not just in addiction, but also the lifestyle that I lived. And so, I mean, God just had his hand over me because I ended up doing 1 year, coming out on a 3-year probation, and that's when I got hooked up with Turning the Heart Center. I had to do 30 hours of community service and different other restrictions, other programs I had to do myself. And when I started doing my community service at Turning the Heart Center, I met the executive director, Doug Lovebro. He gave me an opportunity to be a volunteer. I started volunteering my time at the center. I started seeing that my life was meant for more, not just for chaos and violence and gangs and drugs. So I caught a vision for my life because it was a person and people that believed in me. And so I ended up going to school, got certified as an alcohol and drug counselor. I started programs at Turning the Heart Center, such as GAME, which I'm going to be talking about in a second. And so my life began to change. So I'm not the person that I was sharing how I grew up. I've been 8 years clean and sober. But I just knew that there was a plan and a purpose for my life. I knew that the pain that I went through, there was purpose in it. And I truly believe today that's what I'm doing at Turning the Heart Center. Turning the Heart Center, we have many programs. We have youth, adult, we work with children we have music classes. I mean, the list goes on. We do a lot of prevention, empowerment, parenting classes. At the end of the presentation, I do want to show a video and kind of make it a little bit more personal and interactive because we have a food distribution center that we just started. Actually, it's been over already a year. And we feed families in our community. And it's a self-choice program where the family gets to come in and they get to pick the items that they need. Also, we have a safe parking program. It's a partnership with Dream for Change. These are families that are living in their vehicles and have nowhere to go. They're homeless. They've lost their homes. Some of them are working. They have their own children that are still attending school. So they need a safe place to park. So Turning the Heart Center we opened up our parking lot for them to have a safe place to park without being harassed by police or depending on what neighborhood you're parked in. We have our bathrooms open so they're able to use them. So we're doing a lot of great stuff in the community to really help people overcome the obstacles that they are facing right now. But I want to go ahead and get into the presentation. Here. Just waiting for it to warm up. Any questions so far? Yes?
I do. You deal a lot with youth, you say. What do you think of the degree of helping out kids in gangs?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
I mean, you say you work with a gang situation. What's your success rate? Have you rate at all?
There is. A lot of that is I'm going to be on the slideshow. We don't save everybody,
okay.
You know, but the ones that we do, they've managed to come back and even help out and be a role model to the other youth.
Okay.
But there are youth getting out of gangs. There's youth getting off of drugs. Youth are getting their GEDs. I mean, a lot of great things are happening. And yeah, you had a question?
Yeah, did the court turn you on to this program, or did somebody from this program come to you?
No, actually, Turning the Heart Center has a partner with Cornerstone Church of San Diego. It's located in National City. So I started attending that church. And so Turning the Heart Center is a community arm of Cornerstone Church. And that's where I met Doug Lufko. And from then on, I haven't left. You know, I've been growing and changing as a person. I've done other speaking engagements with the Rotary Club, different gang conferences, and just sharing my story and how we work with youth. But as you see here on the slide, right here on my right, well, this would be your right, yeah, you're right. That's me. I was 18 years old and I was in prison at that time. Over here on the left, that's when I was about 4 years old, and that's how my aunt would dress me up as a little gang member. Growing up, it was a part of our culture. It was, you know, kind of a normal thing. But this was just, are you guys able to see it? Or
Yeah.
is it too? Yeah. Yes.
How old are you now?
I am 20. I'm not 20. I feel like I'm 20, but I am 37 now.
Thank you.
Okay? I'm going to have to get on this side. Yeah. Is that better for you guys? Thanks for that.
Yeah.
Okay, so here, this is the reason why I do GAME. GAME stands for Gang Awareness Through Mentoring and Education. It's a program that's designed specifically for gang members, youth that are at risk to gang membership. So these are some pictures of me, younger, And when I was a baby, I mean, there's some that they had me really wearing a bandana on my head. And these are just some pictures. It's just something that's always been a part of my whole family. And, you know, it's from generation to generation. Like, it only goes down to my grandfather. He is now turning 90 next month. We're having a 90th birthday for him. He was a zoot zooter, a bachuco. I don't know if you guys are... Bachuco, yeah. Back in LA, so Maravilla. And so...
That's a long time ago.
That's what he grew up with. And so a lot of that in our family, we got kind of accustomed to it.
Manny, how many people in your family have died from being in a gang?
Most of them just from drugs, not really into gang violence. I have a lot of cousins that are doing life in prison. I do have a cousin that was shot and murdered in East Street Charlie Station in Chula Vista. That was one of the reasons why I started turning my life around. But, I mean, I haven't really counted, but there's been a few. Most of it is from drugs drug addiction. So this is what GAME is. GAME is we work with youth, they're all males, from 12 to 21. And also, it's a 6-month, it's a 4-month program twice a week. So we meet with them for a total of 32 sessions. And in those sessions, we cover different topics, different types of topics that youth are going through at that time. But just imagine this, in the background of the slide, those are actual group settings that are actually, that were happening. So we sit in a circle, and a lot of those youth there are rival gang members. They're from different gangs, and we have them sitting in one group. And the way we do that is I meet with them one-on-one. I share my heart with them and let them know, hey, they're going to be in a group setting with, it might even be their rival gang member, it might be one of their enemies. And so a lot of these guys that get referred to us are also on GSU. That stands for Gang Suppression Unit. It's a special probation for youth that are documented gang members.
How do you encourage them or force them to come to those meetings?
Well, it's either they go or they go back to juvenile hall.
So they're on probation?
They're on probation. But then we also get the ones that want to go because they want change in their life. So it's both from both parts. We also do random drug testing in this program because all gang members, they do drugs. It's hand in hand. Wherever there's gangs, there's drugs. Also, there's a dress code. All these guys they have to wear a collared shirt. And the reason why we want them to dress professional, or as professional as they can, is to break the gang attire. We break the gang attire right there in the beginning. And also, if they're coming on public transportation, we want to make sure that at least it'll help them. They won't get harassed by cops or also even rival gang members because they have to cross territory to get to our center. We also have a family annual dinner where we invite the parents out. We have a big dinner. We do a big family communication activity just to really just try to get the family just coming closer together. So these are just some of the topics that we cover. Anger management is one of them. A lot of them act out in anger, aggression, negative risk-taking, ego. These are just a list of some topics that we have. One of my favorite ones is legacy. With that actual lesson, I have a coffin that was donated, and I have this coffin where I have the youth in the program write their obituary. The cause of their death would be times that they could have got killed. We've had youth that came to the program that have been murdered. We've had youth that have been jumped, stabbed, shot. And the thing is, a lot of these youth have came close to death. And so they would write that on their obituary. And once I have it on their obituary, I'll lay them in the coffin. And when I lay them in the coffin, we have a podium just like this at the center, and I'll read their obituary while they're laying in the coffin. And I'll tell them, you know what, just lay down, close your eyes, and play dead. And they're hearing me. And the obituary, it's not long. There's not a lot they accomplish at an age like that. So once I'm done reading their obituary, I'll close the coffin on them. But I'm still talking to the youth that's inside that coffin. And what I'm telling them is that the things that are trying to kill you, the things that can make you die, the choices that you're making, you can leave it in this coffin, let it bury it. So when you come out of this coffin, you're going to be a new person. These are things that we do with the youth. These are different activities that we get really creative when we do these groups, and it gets really impacting. I mean, these youth, no one likes to lay in a coffin. But the reality is, if they don't change their lifestyle, they're going to end up in a coffin at a young age. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to stop that from happening. And I know I won't reach them all. Not all of them get it, but the ones that do, it is a blessing. These are just the group structures. Actually, there's one of the, I was doing that piece right there. So you see the young man in a coffin, and we have youth that are watching, and I'm reading his obituary. And so we have something called the lane box. I saw that you earlier, you have a secret greeter, right? Mystery greeter. Okay, mystery greeter. And I really enjoy that because if he doesn't if you don't shake his hand, he rats you out, right?
Yeah.
Then you got to pay a fine.
Yeah.
So basically, there's consequences for not doing what you're supposed to do. Here, we call it the lane box. The lane box, the word lane is kind of a word for a lot of teens. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, but lane just means, I don't know, I don't even know another word for it. It's not a good word, kind of like a loser, you know. And so, we have a lane box, and this is something that the Game Youth Theaters created, because there's youth that have went through the program, they graduated, and they made a turn on in life, and now they're back helping, and I get their ideas. I try to get fresh and new ideas all the time. And so we came up with this idea, it's called lane box. And what's in the lane box is disciplinaries. And they're disciplinaries, things that they're able to do in their own ability. So if they break a rule, if they curse, if they backtalk, if they show any signs of disrespect, if they don't follow the dress code, if they come in late, you know, they'll have to get something out the lane box. And what's in the lane box are just, 25 jumping jacks, 50 push-ups, but maybe 10 push-ups, singing the Barney song, okay? Singing the Wheels on the Bus, So these are things that we have in the lane box, and they got to do it right there in front of all their peers. So just imagine, you got these young gang members, and sitting in one group, all tough, but if they break a rule, they got to get something out that lane box. And it's challenged them to step out of their own comfort zone. And if they're able to step out of their own comfort zone, then change can start happening in their life. You see, the thing is, as a gang member, and I'm speaking from experience, is that we're so comfortable, and we'll never do anything that's going to make us feel, maybe embarrassed or not at ease with. So the lane box challenges them to do those things. If they don't do it, then they could walk that door, because this is a part of the program. And so they do it. They don't like it, but they do it.
Do they pick something out of the box?
Yeah.
They don't know what they're picking out?
They don't know what they're picking, so they pick it out and they open it up. And if it says 20 jumping jacks, then they got to do 20 jumping jacks. If they got to sing the Barney song, then they got to sing the Barney song. And the thing is that it challenges them to step out of their comfort zone, but also to accept discipline, to accept consequences. Because a lot of these youth, they do something wrong and they run from their consequences. We're trying to teach them how to be responsible for their own actions. And we do it right there in the group setting. Yes?
Yes. I was just looking at your handout here. On your first Tuesday, you have marked Women on the Rise. And I think this is a great thing that you're doing to begin with. And I also note that Hillary Clinton is going to be running for president. I'm in favor of it because she is a woman on the rise. And that's exactly the type of thing that you are behind.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think Hillary's over the rise.
Let's say Bill Clinton is running.
Yeah.
These are just some different partners that we have, off-site partners. We take the youth to Donovan State Prison. There's a program called CROPS, and they have inmates that are doing life in prison talk to the youth right there in person. And so it's a good way for them to hear from somebody on the other side of the fence than just always hearing it from myself. Also, the San Diego Medical Examiner's Office is another collaboration we have. It's always good to let them know, hey, this is what death looks like. So we actually take them to the medical center, and they go into the freezer where all the dead bodies are at. So, and then also the chaplain, Joe Davis, he does a whole presentation on just youth dying and showing really clips of suicides, murders, overdose, just different stuff that a lot of these kids are going through. The other one is the Men's Recovery Home, Nosotros, through the MAC project. They also go there, get a tour. They have the guys that are the residents of the recovery home talk to them about their drug abuse. And the reason why I have these three off-site partners is because gang members will end up in one of those places, or if not all. All gang members, at a certain time, they become addicted to drugs. And now they're at an older age trying to get off of drugs. Gang members also end up in the morgue at an earlier age. Gang members also go to prison. So those are the three avenues that gang member will have, but unless they change, they can avoid all those things. So these are the gang youth leaders that I was talking about. These are gang youth leaders. That means these are the ones that went through the program. They've made a turnaround. They want to come and give back. And so I have them, and what they do is they help me facilitate. I teach them how to do data entry. We come up with different lessons. I really keep them engaged to give them a meaningful role. So these are just some of the things that they do. We also have documentaries on some of them, the graffiti cleanup, and just organize and implement also fundraisers is something that we're always looking for as well. We also want to educate the parents, so we work with the parents as well to educate parents on the gang culture, the structure of gangs, the signs that you got to look for, knowing if you have your own child involved in a gang. So these are what goes on in the gang parenting classes. These are our outcomes. I started this program, particularly this program, not the Turning the Heart Center. There's different programs in our agency. But this one I started in 2007. And till March of 2003, we started 163 gang members. And 78 youth successfully completed the program. Now this is a special population because a lot of these youth end up going right back to juvenile hall. And they can't complete the program. So that's what we base our success rate on. And out of those 78, we've had 12 youth come back and help out with the program. And these are just some of the success stories. Raimundo Trejo, he was a full-blown gang member. He was a dropout. He got his GED. He's in college. And now he's a staff member at Turning the Heart Center. He was one of our first graduates through the gang program. We also have Marco Anaya. He was off GSU, which is the Gang Suppression Unit. High school diploma, and is now working. And that's, I just found out he recently enrolled into college. We have Nicholas Lipsy, who's off probation, got his high school diploma, job, and also into college. There's more success stories that we have, but I wasn't able to put them all, just wanted to name a few. This is where we're going with this program. We really want to collaborate and partner continue to partner with probation, schools, different community organizations to really just so we're able to help the community at a wider level. We know there's gangs in every city. Every city there's gangs. I'm pretty sure where we're at, there's a gang here. Anywhere you go, there's gangs. There's gangs everywhere. And the thing is that if we can establish this type of program or Turning the Heart Center in different cities and to work with one gang at a time, I really believe change could really happen in our world. These are just some of the fundraisers that we've had in the past. And the partnerships, that's one of the most current pictures we have. Those youth right there are currently enrolled into the program. And I wanted to talk about just the partnership that I want to establish. I wouldn't want this just to end with me just doing a presentation and not having any dialogue after, or any way that you might feel you want to get connected. There's many ways that you can get connected with Turning the Heart Center. We also, we accept volunteers. We have a food distribution center. I will show that shortly, just kind of go around, there's a video. And we're always looking for volunteers. We have it every second and fourth Saturday of every month. And it's just serving the community. We serve about 300 families every time we're open. And these are families that are in need of food. And the difference between what makes our food distribution center so unique is that it's not a food distribution center where you're just handing a family a box. They get to walk into our store and shop for items that they need. So it's a self-choice food distribution center. We also have a rummage sale that goes on at that same time. We also have youth that go out in the community and remove graffiti out in the streets at that same time. So there's different things that we got going on that Saturday. We have parenting classes, drama classes. I mean, a Saturday there is like, there's so many things happening. And internship placements. We have a program, we are funded through the Workforce Partnership. And we're always looking for business owners or anybody who has connections with businesses that is willing to take on a youth who has went through our program, got their GED, and as an intern. And we will pay for their wages, and they just get the work experience. The business gets the free labor, and if possible, they get hired. But if not, at least it's work experience that they're able to have. We're always looking for partners for that. Job opportunities as well. And there's something called Power of the 100 Club. And what that means is that anyone can make a difference if they know about the Power of the 100 Club. It's on our website. All it is $10 a month for 1 year. We are trying to get 1,000 people every year to donate $100. That's unrestricted money. That's money that we're able to help with the different programs that we offer. That blue sheet that you guys have, that says what we do, we have about 18 different programs. None of those programs are funded. They're done because we know there's a need in the community. We could do so much more if we had, I truly believe, if the Power 100 Club was shared more. So
we set up this $10 a month.
$10 a month. It comes right out of your bank account. You can set up any way. I have envelopes up here in the front. You can set that up. I mean, or you go to our website, click right on Power 100, and it'll automatically take it out once a month, $10 a month for 1 year. Or you can shut it off earlier, or you can just do one donation, whatever it is. But something like that is what helps our agency do more and be able to expand. All right, well, does anybody have any questions, or, yes?
You mentioned that you work primarily with males. Why not females?
And for the games?
Yeah, for games. The female activity is on the rise.
Right. Well, we have girl programs, so anybody that's involved, any females, we'll put them in our Girls to Women program. And the reason why we haven't designed a game for females, we just don't have a female ex-gang member facilitator or someone that's willing to work with females. Because the way it's structured, all the girls groups, they're female facilitators. We have a couple of co-ed programs like our youth anger management and youth substance abuse. Those are co-ed. But that is something that we've always been kind of looking for, someone to help with that and be committed with it. But yeah, I totally believe.
When you have the activities, are you putting the kids together by age or just all together?
And we have, the program that I'm talking about is from 12 to 21. So they all are all together. But we usually have about, the youngest person we have is probably 14. The oldest is 17. If we get anybody that's older, from 18 to 21, we'll have them in a separate group. Just because the mentality is a little bit different. But a lot of the programs that we do offer are in age brackets. So from 9 to 12, from 13 to 17, and then 18 to 21, and then we got the adult programs.
Are most of your kids from Hispanic gangs, or they're black and white gang kids here too?
Pretty much 95% all Hispanic youth.
So where do white and black gang kids, do they have their own programs like that? Or something
No,
different?
we serve
I understand.
anyone, but you're asking if there's programs that serve that population?
Well, I imagine like you're neighborhood based, right? So you're gonna
Right.
get most of the kids from your neighborhood. So if you're in another neighborhood where there's, let's say, more black kids or white kids, they have their own programs too over there?
There is other programs. I know there is some in southeast San Diego that works with gangs, primarily the black gangs. It's called Overcoming Gangs is the organization.
But does the Turning Arts Center have those programs, or are they different organizations entirely?
No, well, we are different sites, but all the sites that we're at, they're all Hispanics. Escondido, working with nothing but Hispanic gang members. Oceanside, it's kind of a mix, but mostly Hispanic. Mid-City, it's mostly Hispanic, yeah.
The Lions Club had a camping deal in the summer, Camp Jack, which disadvantaged youth go for a week. Have you ever took advantage of that program?
No, I've never heard of it.
It's a summer camp.
It's a summer camp, and so that's one connection you can make with the Lions.
It's out in the Cuyamacas.
Okay,
Oh, wow.
yeah, that's something, guess I could get that information. I'll just write it down, jot it down. But yeah, that would be great. Yeah, so what I want to do at this time, and I can still answer questions, I'm going to go around, and this is our food distribution center, so I might have to go like you from kind of section to section.
So, this is our center.